Well, let's get across what's going on markets both globally and locally. Pete McGuire joining us from XM. Pete, a very good Monday morning to you. All right, so what are you watching for this week? China remains a big issue, of course, particularly as it relates to Australia and more globally as well. Then you've got the interest rate issue in the US with continued strength or resilience to the US economy. We'll get some perhaps further clues out of Jackson Hole this week.
Well, exactly, Andrew. I think that's how the week is going to run, and I think you're going to see volatility across currencies to start it off. Secondly, is that US dollar going to hit through 104? What's happening as far as energy prices, and naturally, as you mentioned, ending the week with Jackson Hole, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, and of course Fed Chair Powell, and what the rhetoric is, and how many more rate rises do they see for this year, and or do we see it, tapped out? And we look forward to 24 as seeing, maybe 130 basis points wiped out of it.
All right. Now, of course, the Aussie remaining under extreme pressure at the moment. How are you seeing that travel, and you're expecting further pressure?
I think the peso's probably got a 63.5 to possibly 62.5 handle. It's been sold down, spanked down. It's been a great trade, Andrew. It's just been dynamic, and anyone that hasn't been in on it, well, maybe you've been, laying on a banana chair somewhere. So it's time to get back engaged and have a look at the Aussie. Probably softer from here. Let's see what China does, and really, it's maybe it's in tandem and possibly a little bit further more free fall to come out of it.
All right, and Pete, commodities remaining volatile at the same time. What's catching your attention there at the moment?
Well, base metals have been sold off heavily. They're 8,900 for that copper market down to 82, 8,300. So they've had a really big hit, and then some of those other base metals have been hemorrhaged as well. Crude's oscillating, but it's sitting that 81 to 84 sort of, WTI and Brent. Maybe we're going to see another lift up. Storms are starting to channel through. It's traditionally this time. Naturally, you've got Hillary on the west coast, and you've got all the hurricanes starting to bank in to the Gulf of Mexico from the east coast. So the impact there, as far as disruption and so on, not unusual. August is blast off. So if we see some of those outages, that's really going to force crude higher from here, I'd say.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of what's playing out in commodities at the moment, given that pressure from the US dollar, which has maintained its strength, and that's also the case with gold too.
Yeah, exactly right. Gold's come under some pressure. I still say its best days are ahead of it. I'm not too worried about it. It's just been volatile, Andrew, and that's been, again, a magnificent market to trade because there's been big sweeping changes across, 48, 72-hour windows. Silver's been dynamic as well. I noticed something, China, Z was in South Africa as far as BRICS, and they're now saying, I've just seen a note come up here, it's a geopolitical rival to the G7 as far as the BRICS are concerned. So keep an eye on gold. They've been buying up heavily, and maybe that's the reason for the hanky.
It's okay. Well, you're good luck charm right there, Pete. All right, so given what you're seeing across markets at the moment, how are you positioning yourself? I mean, given just that incredible uncertainty that is obviously spooking markets.
Well, exactly. Nasdaq's down 8%, S&P 5%. So I'm not truly worried about it. I think it's just, maybe we're worried about the Chinese situation. Again, where interest rates roll from here, Andrew, and probably it was, a bit toppy and over-exhausted to the upside. So it's probably consolidating a little bit. Have a look at the VIX for a trader's perspective. I'm sure they're across it. And just look at those big news, data drops this week, and how we bet ourselves in. Look at the UK, of course, possibly another 75 basis points of hikes betted in there. So I'm just, rolling with the punches and trying to make a dollar, Never go broke taking a profit, Andrew.